I see people. So I look like a broken mess today. I have a scratch on my forehead. OCD means I'm not letting it go, and I should. Then my cold sore got scratched on accident, and so now all I can say is you should see the other guy. Anyway, so I'm explaining my war wounds here today. Those of you who don't know, I have something called dermatillomania. It's part of my OCD, which means I have a hard time letting sores be. So I'm not dying. Actually, no, you should have seen what Carl looks like. This. No. Anyhow, it looks like we're back up again. Okay, so we are late but early. We were going to start at 6:45 today because we were really behind schedule. But we were going to log in as soon as we were ready, which is now. So we will dilly-dally until 45, and then we'll start showing you the pictures we have for you today. The topic of today is ranged weapons, although I realize because Carl is a gun fanatic, there's way too many pictures to include guns in the ranged weapons. So the ranged weapons we'll show today will be archery or arrows, things using arrows, and we do have some cannons, I think. That's most of the part. Anyway, and bolts maybe. Oh, I have to say hi. Yeah, it is raining here. My kid was asking me if the rain had hit us yet. Apparently there's a storm here. I didn't read the news. Is there a storm in the flat part of Norway, or the flatter part of Norway?
Yeah, but it's
Oslo and south, or?
It's only bokmål speakers who gets hit by it, so I don't care.
Only bokmål speakers, he's saying, instead of nynorsk over here. You've been snuggled. Notice the ocarinas are no longer in the background, so I think the only thing that is going to give us any issue today is maybe the pink yarn. Yeah, because when we set it up to the green screen mode on YouTube, it tends to block out everything that's not face or flesh colored. So, but anyway, yeah, it is raining a little bit, but we have nothing's pouring down.
No, this is nothing.
This is not even. Although I do believe we have had an avalanche the other day. Actually has nothing to do with rain. I'm not sure what would have caused that one, because it wasn't very much. But so far, I'm the only one who felt it, so it existed in my world. No, it was around 6:45. So some people at the gas station, for example, were already at work. Other people were. I think it's the one that's right behind us, because it's a long path down. And then, of course, because Carla, the cat, is very vocal. And we have a fire alarm that's reminding us constantly that it needs a battery change. I put earplugs in my ears, so I couldn't hear it, but suddenly the whole bed started shaking. Then you put your hand on the wall. Yep, the wall is vibrating too. Okay, yeah, it's probably an avalanche, but I couldn't hear it, so I don't think it was a big one. But the one behind us has a very long trail.
Speaking of which, have you noticed how much calmer the cat is now that the fire alarm is fixed?
Yeah, thank you for that, by the way. It was putting off the battery change thing for a while. Yeah. But yeah, it might have been that it was driving her nuts too, because I woke up with a migraine yesterday, and I don't know if it's after a week of listening to the cat and the fire alarm, or...
I think the cat is just signal boosting the fire alarm. She thinks we are not hearing it, and goes, yeah, but this is dangerous. You might burn in.
But there's a slight possibility that Carla will be extra vocal today. Carl, would you like to explain why?
Well, we did sterilize the wall, so those testicles are gone. We did not sterilize the cat. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but I overslept because of fire alarm, cat, and American with a migraine. It is impossible to sleep.
Some people go to bed before 3 o'clock if they have to get up at 6.
Yeah, some people do that.
He missed his bus. He woke up about 6 minutes before it was going to... There's no way he could throw a cat into a... I don't even think he could find his pants in 6 minutes, but there's no way he could throw his cat into a carrier and out the door in 6 minutes and across the street over there. So, no, he missed the bus.
No, but I could have gone in Teletubby pants, but it's the cat in the cage that would be the problem.
When he says Teletubby, he means long johns or long underwear or stilans in Norwegian. Because when he puts the long underwear on and doesn't wear anything else, top to bottom, he looks like a Teletubby. So Carl's a Teletubby. Oh, good. I see lots of people here. Okay, especially Robert. I'm really glad you're here, Robert, because I think this is going to be a weak subject for Carl. So this will be a really good one for you. I had you in mind. So feel free to run a dialogue in the background and we'll read it and pass it off as our own bright knowledge. But anyway, we have to say hi. Audra is here. Albert is here, both in Norway. Here's another. Garcia is here. She's in Holland. They're having nicer weather. No, rainy days in Holland, but 12 degrees. Actually, how cold was it here today? It wasn't that bad, was it?
It wasn't super cold today.
No, it's just cold with rain, but otherwise, if no rain?
No, there was maybe a drizzle. There was not much rain at all while the village was open.
Arlene is here. She's in Canada. Oh, she's at 15 degrees in Selkirk because she's today. Lyra's here. Stash busting. Getting ready for stash busting season. Oh, crap. And thank you for reminding me. October 31st on Halloween, we usually start a stash busting. And I almost made it last year. I did. I almost failed. I made it last year, but I did fail. I failed the last couple of years. But yeah, no, thanks for reminding me. I will talk about that one. Basically, you pick a certain amount of your stash that you want to try to use up by the end of the year. It could be yarn stash, it could be fabric stash, whatever, but you need to use it all. Even if you take the last little bits and make some leftover thing with it. So I think I was better last year by picking thicker yarn because the previous year I went with thin yarn and didn't manage to make my goal even close. I did the thicker yarn last year, but then I had to make side projects. So the tip would be choose the yarn that you have to have used by Christmas for presents anyway, so that you're not trying to stash bust your goal and make other stuff on the side. So I used way more than my goal, but not the goal yarn. Anyway, but we'll start that on Halloween. That's right, thank you. I've been posting it, I don't know if I can post it to Instagram. So this might be YouTube. I will see, because my phone doesn't like my Instagram doesn't like the new phone that we got in October, or at the end of I think it was. Yeah, anyway, I'm having a hard time posting with it, so we shall see how that works out. But yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so get ready for stash busting season. Start looking at your stash. Start figuring out what you want to use before Christmas. And it's a personal battle against yourself. So you either win or you don't. But there's the only thing to gain from it is you've used up some stash and you feel good about yourself. But you're making a bet against yourself. There is no competition as to who uses the most grams up. But anyway, so example, I have to crochet. It's almost like a pussy hat but Spider-Man. It's like a square folded hat, so it looks like it has ears on when you wear it on your head, because the squares won't go flat. The squared corners won't go flat, so they look like little kitty ears. But anyway, she has picked one out with Spider-Man. So I have to make a Spider-Man version of that, but then I have to use all the leftover yarn for it too. So maybe in all binding some pouches or something. Then I have a kid who wants a piano key scarf in crochet, and I have to go and buy the yarn for that because I don't have enough white and black. I usually don't use black. It's too dark, and I usually color the white yarn that I have. Oh, actually, ooh, that'd be expensive scarf. Anyway, so I have to buy yarn for that, because if I don't figure it into my stash, I'm going to be doing that in addition to my stash busting. But that'll be fun to see. Are you going to stash bust an orc this year? You failed last year. Carl was going to work on his orc. How many orcs did you bet that you would be able to put together and paint?
Actually, just two.
Just two, and you didn't even do one?
No.
Are you gonna challenge yourself again this year?
No, why would I? I have nothing to gain from this.
I do. There's a lot of half finished. There's a lot. You can't really see up there, but there's a lot of orc stuff on the shelf there. Anyway, so I challenge you to do at least one orc.
I can do one orc.
One orc by Christmas, by New Year's Eve, actually. And there's Carla being nice and quiet. You're going to be quiet today, aren't you, Carla?
I think it was the fire alarm that caused her to lose her shit.
Maybe, because it was constantly doing the warning beep. She looks like a ferret. Look at her. She's all bent up and looking like a ferret. Yeah, oh, she's an attention whore. Okay. Meanwhile, Fuzzy over there is completely innocent. Okay, let's see. PJ Lightning's here. Robert Reynolds here. Has there been an orcanaristration? Yes. Carl has orcanaristrated. They've been moved over there. Now Raggedy Ann has the Okinaras. No, Raggedy Ann, not Andy, I said. Okay. Chilly one in England, says PJ, 16 degrees at her flat at the moment. Lyra says she's got 10 degrees or 50 Fahrenheit.
That's diplomacy in action.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, that didn't last. Meanwhile, do you have any
That's
Okinaras?
what diplomacy is, even internationally.
Do you have any Okinaras left after that, Cat? That little fight on your...
Oh no, this is solid stuff.
Okay, good to know your Okinaras are still intact. You got some hearts out of that, by the way. Little hearts flying up the screen. Yeah, and then Raven's here in Perth, by the way. A guy came in the shop and I said, oh, where are you from? Because he's, Australian or something. He was trying to bring a horn material back and needed to get some stuff for it. And he's like, I'm from Perth. And then I just love this because people will do this. Oh, I know somebody from there. Do you know Raymond Roberts? Obviously, he didn't know. But he said it's small enough. You never know. It could have worked. So maybe I should have asked the other guy. But anyway, so we were thinking, we had representation from Perth, Australia this week. No pretty guns, no, but we will do the pretty guns next week because Carl could talk forever about that. But there was a lot of photos of guns, everything from, I don't know, I went all the way up to sci-fi, but how far back did those guns go?
As far as guns go back.
Yeah. And then, yeah, and there was including some of the sci-fi guns. I put those in there. And they had, the Mafia guns were quite cool. So we'll do that one next week. 7 degrees in Glasgow, says Robert. Albert is, can we say, feeling the, I have to read this. There was an intro. Oh, there we go. I have so much stash that I don't even know how to start. I have fabric about 60 kilos worth and nearly 3 armies worth of Warhammer to bust down. Just focus on what you can do. So if you're going to measure your orcs, maybe 1 or 2 or 3, or 1 will do for him. Or if you're going to do your fabric, maybe, think of a project you have in mind anyway. So with my yarn, I'm going to lose again, but I'm going to try. I'm here to make you feel better for losing at it. PJ says I usually wound up with more yarn after stash busting. Yeah, I might have done that a couple times. And I probably will have to do that too because I don't think I can buy the stuff for the yarn for the piano tie or the piano scarf until after stash busting begins. Torben is here and Max is here. Torben says hello from the Magic Tavern. Torben has been making Warhammer figures. What were his called again?
It's the Necrons.
It's the Necrons, yeah.
Torbjörn.
And he spent how long did you spend on that base, by the way, with this really cool you applied this one thing on the base of it, and then you apply another one, and it causes the first one to crackle. So you have this black crackling thing with green goo coming through. It's really cool. He says, happy days here in Hardanger. New fish in the aquarium. Kids have named them. Oh, they're doomed now. Once they have names, that's when they die. I can't have fish. No stashing for Garcia this year. I'm busy building a harp. Ooh, that's a good excuse, actually. That can't be easy. Amrose here. She said, it's too cold to go out. Haven't seen the temperature. Heidi Liset is here from up north in Norway. Audra says, I have about 20 kilos of beautiful yarn that I plant dyed. No chance I use it all. Nope. Focus on a certain amount, even if it's only 50 grams or if it's 20 kilo, whatever. But focus on what you think you can do. It is basically a game against yourself. Vashonet. I like that Prude has changed her name. She says, I'm here too, feeling better this week, but still decided not to go to the Viking Center for tonight's celebration of Forefathers Day. Oh, she got hit with a pretty bad cold, actually. We were blaming students because she's got students in the new school, so the first school year there. She tends to get it. Ambrose says, my challenge will be wallpapering. The last wall I have to do, but it has to be done before the 1st of November. Oh, you're running out of time, but you can do it. You can do it. I should probably clean because my kids are going to come here for Christmas. I think we figured that out. PJ says, my challenges this year are to master Nordic walking and remember to do 200 punches and some shoulder stretches every day. I should do exercise.
Nordic walking?
Nordic walking, probably like a Nordic trek.
You just walk north?
Or there was somebody that was doing GPS walking. I thought that was kind of, they were doing virtual walking, so they would just and she was walking around Norway. it was quite cool. I saw it on Facebook, and so they literally, I think they go to Google Earth and they just start walking. You know, click, click, click to go through and see what the road looks like. It's kind of cool. You could do that. Imagine the places you could go. Oh, the places you can go. I sound like Dr. Seuss now. He has a book called that. Okay, Carl thinks I'm nuts. I could do virtual walking. It's a real workout.
But it takes exactly the same energy as actually walking there.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. A little bit faster because you can click faster than you can run, maybe, but.
I don't
But
get
the Nordic track is Nordic track is something different. Nordic track is an actual machine. It's something that I need over here anyway, so that I could go walk on a level surface. Because going for a walk up and down mountains is not my idea. It's a little bit more strenuous than I want to work out to be.
You just face your hamster wheel north and walk in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right over the top of a mountain. Raymond says, laugh out loud. Yes, we have a big get together in Perth. All the brothers and cousins and neighbors, and everybody knows everybody. Really, laugh out loud. And then Radisby's here from Sweden. I remember this time. And Robin Artsier, this is instead of stash. Oh, this is instead of stash pushing, I'm creating stash. Plant dive from the Viking market in Oregon next year and flying all the yarn I've spun. Ooh, that will be good. Okay, so people are actually ready for this. This is really good because I almost forgot about it until Lyra said. Then it's like, oh crap, that's in 6 days we start stash busting. I can do it. I don't know how much I'm gonna bet this time. I have to. I hope I don't fail. I failed like 2-3 years in a row now, and this is what the 6th year we're doing this, something like that. Okay, and then Outer said, no, it's walking with sticks. Is that okay? I didn't know that. Nordic walking says Raymond is walking with sticks or with hiking poles. I didn't know that, but I know that they encourage that because it gets you to lift your arms up as well, so you're not just kind of walking like this, but you're.
But is it considered cheating to use the other cardinal directions?
If you want to do like Mayan walking.
No, if you want to go south or west or.
But it's in Nordic, not north.
But you don't get to the north without walking north.
He's trying really hard. Let's see. You don't know Nordic walking? Where are you from? I'm American in Norway. It's your year, Karen. You got this. They have faith in me. I can do this.
Around here, walking with the stick is just walking. We don't have to call it Nordic walking because we are Nordic. So every kind of walking we do is Nordic walking.
Rodisby says, I've actually been on some really fancy treadmills with a screen on them that are connected to Google Street View or something, and you can see the pretty views as you're just stuck in a little room. Laugh out loud. I need one. That I would think would be fun. Because I like the idea of the treadmill. I used to do that when I went to a gym a while ago because, you know, you could just walk for as long as you have time for and then just get off. You don't have to turn around and walk back. And it would have the news on or something, or you'd listen to a book or whatever. But it would be kind of cool to actually virtually walk without going. Carl needs a beer. So speaking of Nordicness, this is backwards for you, but it's called Arctic beer, and it does remind me a little bit of the Imsdal bottle, which I actually have. This is Imsdal bottle. It's a water bottle, but mine has vitamin C in it, so it looks very urine colored. But you can see in the base of it, it's supposed to look like an iceberg. And that's kind of what this looks like. So I'm thinking your 4.7% beer is probably going to be a little pee tasting. No, water tasting?
We'll see.
You have to read the back of your can. But I don't think we've had that one. It's just a regular Pilsner. It says refreshing. It's got a Norwegian flag on it. It's from Mack. Mack, M-A-C-K is the name of the company. Oh, you poured that one horribly. Look at the head on that thing. Okay, it says, actually it doesn't say really anything. It just says ingredients, brewed and packaged by and best before. But it's from Tromsø, Norway.
It's a Pilsner. It's very limited how much you can fuck around with Pilsner and still being a Pilsner.
Yeah, but it's kind of a cool can anyway, so he's having a blue can. Called Arctic. It's refreshingly Norwegian is what this says backwards for you.
I'm not a super big fan of the Pilsner, but the Pilsner at least has one good idea. And that is the law of purity that prevents you from putting bloody mangoes in it.
Torben says it's not an iceberg. It's supposed to be gittertind, I think. Now I am knuting. Let's see. This says rent norsk kildevann fra foten av Rondane. Okay, it's pure Norwegian spring water from the foot of Rondane. What's Rondane? The name of a mountain range?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe it's a mountain. I don't know if you can see it in there. There you go. But mine has vitamin C and it's been refilled for so many times. So, skål da. I am feeling vitamined.
It's not great, but it's better.
All right, then you'll live. No, these are those soda tablets, by the way. I just break one up and put it in there. Okay. But actually, we are at the time where we can probably start. How's Carla doing today? So far, so good. She puked on the bed as soon as we got home.
Yep.
But not under my feet.
That's usually Fuzzy's job, by the way.
That's usually Fuzzy's job to do the puking. Oh, Robert says, I finished off some tablet braid and will starting some more soon and plan on doing some more Nalbinding. Oh, good job. The courses in Lithuania, says Outer, where people are taught to walk with poles in a special Nordic style. I haven't heard of that. I'm learning new things. I should probably go to the gym. Red Eastby says the difficulty of a treadmill is connected to whether the actual trail is going up or down at the time. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, though. Actually, if it did keep with the elevation of it, so you kind of feel it. But it would be nice to be able to just turn it off. So, I can't turn the camera. It won't show it because there's too much stuff in the way. But the cat, the other cat, he went to... if there's a bag on the floor, he has to go and sit in it. And then he decided he wanted to move, but his head got stuck on the handle. And so he's slowly walking with the bag across the room, but now it looks like he gave up and went back inside the bag. It's a really big handle, by the way. Nolvia is here. She says, walk like a Norwegian. I think that works. Okay. And then they're talking about Fireball, Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster, says PJ, if you recognize that reference. Okay. Anyway, but let's try the green screen thing, and let's see how the pink yarn does in the background. There we go.
By the way, with regards to walking, apparently there is kind of a distinct style of walking for different peoples.
Yeah?
There
We're
is
in the mountains now.
a story from during the first Gulf War. Some BBC journalists were kind of caught somewhere in Iraq when the air war starts. And they are kind of panicking, so they decide to dress as Arabs and see if they can get out of town.
Yeah.
They get to walk about 60 meters before apparently a 12-year-old kid looks at them and says to them in broken English, you can dress like Arabs, but you still walk like Englishmen. And they get so afraid that they just go back to their hotel room and stay there until the war is over.
Okay. I chose, because it's a ranged weapon, I chose this wonderful background of a mountain that has no... I don't even know where the hell this mountain is, but you can see it on the screen soon, Carl. We're about 10-second delay. It looks like a great place to use ranged weapons. We have some rocky foreground and way up in the mountain there, depending on how far we want to test our ranged weapons. But this is the background I've used to reformat the pictures with. Okay, so if I look at that, the pink yarn isn't even picking up. Oh, there it is. Oh God, it looks like a different part of anatomy. Okay, we're gonna keep.
Stop it with Hannah, Midwestern's woman.
All right, let's see. We'll start with. Okay, there's like no particular order here because I couldn't get it set up in order on the phone. This guy, which I have a better picture of. This was the one I used for the cover. He has a very unique ranged weapon. Let's see if I put this here so you can see without stuff in the background. And there it's going to be blown. I have to blow it up for Carl on screen. This weapon, I'm not sure what that is. It looks like a dart.
I would very much claim that this is just a stick.
Is it just a stick for beating the horse?
It might be like a marshal's baton, something you use to point with on the battlefield.
Probably, considering what this one was from. This is one of the Asian ones.
It doesn't look like a weapon.
But I didn't see anything that represented a poison dart. Let's just say for shits and giggles that it was. I didn't see anything in the museum that represented poison darts.
No, because it's not a weapon of... Well, it's a hunting weapon in a way, but it's not a weapon of war.
No. Oh, okay, so in armories would only have the war weapons then. Because
Yes.
we did see at least one slingshot, I think, but I
You
don't
have
have
some... you have some that kind of cross over. But the poison dart thing doesn't really cross over much.
pink
If at
anatomy.
all.
I'm sorry. Prudis says, I literally have a don't panic tattoo. And then Outer says, pink anatomy. Yep, she saw what I saw, but fortunately that's so far up on the screen that we can't see it. It shouldn't affect. But anyway, did the Vikings ever use anything like darts or slingshots or like...
Slingshots is a big maybe.
Yeah.
The technology at least exists.
Yeah.
Um,
It does look a little too thin to be a blowpipe, says Ruddy Spee. I kind of agree.
yeah,
But
and also,
it just brought up an interesting, it looks way too thin.
Look at his helmet and explain to me how this guy is supposed to use a blowpipe.
Yeah, no, that's right. He's got a mask on him. It's a chainmail mask, actually, unless it's one like yours that hooks in the front.
A blowgun has basically no penetration. Very, very little penetration. So normal clothes can save you from a dart from a blowgun. And depending on how good you are with poisons, it would either not do anything or not do anything in time. It doesn't really help you that much that the guy is going to die the day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because it can still kill you in the intervening time.
Yeah, this is true. PJ says, looks like a bamboo stick to me, too, and I agree. Yeah, and Albert also says bamboo stick. Maybe it's something like a riding crop. But it did remind me of those blow sticks we have that Holger made to encourage more life into the fire. We have some that look like that, but that is buckthorn. I forget the name of the bush where the inside of the branch is so much marrow you can just kind of... Wow, that's like water for you, is it, Carl?
It really is. It's a Pilsner.
He just slammed it. Okay. Now let's see how much green screen. Now we just find Carl. Carl is sitting with a horse on his back. That's cute. But anyway, so okay, no, but I thought that'd be a fun one to bring up the idea. No, I do actually think it's something by the way of a riding crop, but it did bring up something of interest. And then of course, Radisby wrote plow pipe, and I wrote, I read blow pipe because I'm assuming that was not correct. But nope, Torben was quick to pick up on it. Torben's a farmer as well as a postal carrier. He says, plow pipe, the fields will never be done in time. I had that was funny. Okay, so next picture, I can see if I can do this in somewhat of an order. I think we got to start with the archery guy because archery. So this is the one I took of him. He's using a longbow, I believe, but there's a better picture of it here. Let's see. I just like the floating Carl. There we go. So
It's a typical English longbowman, 100-year war.
now these longbows they had in Viking Age.
Look what he has in his belt.
Oh, I didn't even see. Let me blow that up. Did you pick a non-ranged weapon to focus on, Carl?
Yep.
What does he have?
Because this one is funny.
What is it?
It's a bullock dagger.
A bullock dagger, which is what? I don't know what a bullocks. I don't know what that is.
The English speakers in chat knows what bullocks is.
Well, we pointed out the bullocks last week, but a bullock dagger?
This is, yep, it's an actual thing. Google it. It's...
well, now I have to Google. Let's hope the thing doesn't tip over there. Okay.
It's a dagger with balls.
I think I spelt bullocks wrong. Bollock dagger, like B-O-L-L. Or B-U-L-L-O-C-K. Oh my, it does have balls. Okay, well, I'll just let you Google that to yourself, but some of them are a little bit more ocarina-like than others.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't know why we keep mentioning ocarina, watch last week with a straight face. He's also got a Darth Vader helmet, says Radisby. You want to comment on that? We actually helmets. We have enough helmet photos that we do actually have a photo of one of those.
I don't remember the name for those helmets.
It looks like it's been sealed through the middle and fused together at least through the middle, but it has or folded and then bent outwards. How would you do that?
In that time, I don't know. They're better. They're much better at metalwork in the 1300s than they are in the Viking Age.
Yeah.
So the armor would be hardened and tempered.
Okay, so nobody is interested in the longbow, but Peruta put up a link for the bullock dagger, and Novia asks, "Is it for stabbing balls?"
You can stab whatever you like with it.
And Torben says, "No, I am your father." Pew 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 pew. This is gonna be a fun one, and hopefully it's not just the cojones of time, says Max. Oh my God, there's so many good ones here. Okay, maybe I should find that pink yarn up on the screen. Okay, let's see. Anyway, but the longbow, I was gonna say, how does he know where to put his hand, etc.? There's no notch, no markings, no shelf.
Oh, these guys are experienced, to put it kind of mildly.
Because ours has a shelf and people still mess that up. But
Also notice that he is shooting at about 30-degree angle. So this is extreme indirect fire, and he's shooting from experience mostly.
Smirks in fifth, says Torben. The helmet looks like a solid helmet, says Albert.
Yeah.
Or did I say that wrong, or is it solid or salad?
It might be. Yeah, I think it is.
Okay, then we start working on this stuff. This will come at a little. Okay, this is the horse guy. It was in the background of him. It'll be coming up on our screen soon. There. So there's a long type of bow there, but it doesn't have much curve to it, just at the top and the bottom a bit. And then he's got arrows.
Will look very curved at all.
It's hardly curved at all.
As soon as you put the string on, you will curve it like crazy.
Yeah. The text behind is just almost too small for me to read. Yeah.
Is this samurai?
This is of the Asian. Most of these are from the Asian area.
But specifically Japan.
I'm not sure, but it was, if you look at the picture with the horse, let's see if I go back. Let's see. It's, let's see. You can see that weird looking quiver on the right. It is behind, it's in the display right behind the horse's ass there.
From the banner to the helmet, I would say this guy is samurai.
Yeah. By the way, this red thing on the horse is a bunch of knotting, and I did take a better picture of that for another day. It looks like it could be a different, it's netting basically, but would that technically be Nalbinding too, because it's knots? But anyway, we can look at that another day. Okay, so back to the picture of the weird looking quiver. There's actually two quivers here. We have a little bit of a delay before it shows up on our screen here. Okay, so the bow, anything unique about that you want to point out? It's almost a straight stick. It's very long.
It's hard to say without seeing the dimensions, but I'm guessing this is the longbow thing they used. And it's a particular art to...
Good, I knew Robert would have the answers. Go ahead and say what you think, and then I'll read what he says.
It's a particular art to shooting a longbow from horseback. You can do it. It's just annoying because you can only shoot right sideways, more or less.
Yeah. He's also got, okay, so there's one quiver that almost looks like a bowling pin or a baton with a case, a guitar case or something to keep them in. I don't know how that was sealed. It almost looks like a latch to put the cover on it. But then there's also the one at the top, which holds the arrows as well. And this one is almost barely, it's just a little bit of pocket around the base and then this long thing. So Robert knows about this one. Also, in the feathers up there.
Why does that thing look like a butt plug?
Everything to you looks like a butt plug. Could it be a recurve bow, writes Robin. And I think we'll go with Robert here because Robert knows really quite a bit about archery, so I'm really glad that he's here for this. There will be what's called a Boyer's mark on the side of the bow that shows where the arrows would pass, so that's how we would know. Because I would have just go for the middle of the bow to know where to hold your hand. He says, by the way, this bow is a Japanese Yumi. The samurai also had a smaller version for shooting from horseback because this bow, by the way, is taller than I am. You can actually see a shadow of me in the background taking a picture of it, and it starts around shin level and goes way over my head.
No, but as soon as it's strung, it would be your height or a little bit shorter.
Yeah, that's true. He said the samurai also had smaller versions from shooting from horseback. So I'll try to continue to stay in the same area, but when I put the pictures on my phone, it tends to mix them up. So, okay, so here's another one. Waiting for my screen to change. There we are. So here we have, I think these were Turkish, if I remember correctly, but I might be wrong.
Oh, these are recurve.
Yeah, because one of them, the one on the right, the one that's kind of more stretched out than the other two, those look like one of Runa's Hungarian bows.
Yeah, it's in that family.
It's a recursive bow. But look how bent the other two are, the two on the left.
Yeah.
So those, you would bend them the opposite direction to put the string on it?
Yes.
That would have a massive amount of spring, would it not?
Yeah, yes, that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
The point of the recurve bow is that you want a bow that is compact but has about the same poundage as
Yeah.
a longbow.
Go ahead and add your insights, Robert, because this is your field. So
It's extremely dickish. If you have to shoot from both sides of a horse, for instance, if you have to move your bow across the horse's neck, with a longbow like the Yumi or the Welsh longbow, you can't really do it. Well, you can, but it looks clumsy as all fuck, and you probably ran away from the thing you wanted to shoot before you managed to get your bow into position.
how hard would it be to string that bow, though? The really round ones, the ones that look like the letter C. There's one that's even worse than this when it comes to a curl.
There is a trick to it, but it's basically boils down to the same thing that we do with powerful bows.
You put your foot in.
The most powerful muscles on your body are the hips and your butt. So if you can anchor yourself in place and use your butt to push on something, you can generally push it.
Okay, another thing I want to point out is the arrow tips. One of them looks just like one of those plugs you've been mentioning, and some of them look like they could plunge a toilet. Do you know any of the reasons for? And some look extremely pointy and sharp. Some look like they would really make some damage. That some of them are very rounded and.
The ball thingy,
Yeah.
it might be for bird hunting.
Oh, really?
But, I'm not sure. Raymond will probably give a better explanation.
Explain your theory, though. Explain that.
If you use a hunting tip to kill a bird, you rip it to shreds.
Yeah.
And you probably don't want that. You want the meat to be as intact as possible.
So it'd be better to use a meat tenderizer than a spear?
Oh, that is a meat tenderizer. You won't do... the bird is equally dead, but you haven't done as much
Flying
damage.
fist arrows. Blunts or fire arrows. Ink Journey's here. Nikki's here. As well. Let's see. Greetings from less windy New Zealand. Until tomorrow, something crazy will be forecasted. Oh no. We've actually had quite a few Kiwis here today. This week, actually. Kristen was surprised, and I said, no, they tend to turn up as soon as school season is, or when our off season starts. That's when the New Zealanders tend to show up in the village. Flying fist arrows, says Nolvi. I liked that one. Audra says, is it true that the Vikings used the unstretched wooden part of a bow as a fishing rod? That's an interesting thought. I didn't think of that.
I would say you could do that, but you could also use any kind of limber tree as you find everywhere as a fishing rod. So I would say that your bow is probably too expensive to be messed with in that way. But you could probably do it if you kind of had to.
Albert says, those bows remind me of the Odyssey, how the test for the suitors to string the king's bow. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was probably a similar bow. But, well, that's...
Fly fishing arrows, says Torben, for those 10-mile-high freaks. I know, but Robert chimes in. Let's see how you did. They are probably Chinese or Eastern European. The Turkish bows tend to have the grip bulging forwards. Stringing them is a nightmare. They would use a wooden frame to bind the limbs to. Blunts for birds or small game hunting, so you're correct. Let's see, or combo arrows, adds Nikki. Her husband does fishing archery. Huh! I never thought that. That's a cool thing. That's a new sport. Why don't they have that? I mean, you have the ski shooters. Why don't you have archery fishermen?
Well, we kind of do, but we don't really arrange competitions in it.
He shoots invasive species in the river at my parents' place, she says. Okay, let's see if we can get another one going here. Going further on down. I believe this is all part of the same display, so same area here. My screen is just going to catch
Would
up
the
in a moment.
Dutch kayaker classify as an invasive species?
What do you have against the Dutch today, Carl?
The
Shame
same
on
thing I
you!
had against them yesterday.
Okay, here is another bow. Now this one again looks. This is the same picture, but it's just more to the right. So now you can see that one that looks like a Hungarian bow, but you can also see the quiver that he had. This would be for mounting, for horseback.
Yeah. It kind of smells Mongolian or Far East.
It's on the Asian floor. That's where all the cool stuff was. Okay, that's it. You have to explain yourself. While Robert comes up with something cool to say about this, Carl.
What am I supposed to explain?
Pruda says, "What did the Dutch do to Carl yesterday?"
It's the same thing that I always do.
What is that?
The Dutch do not understand that their toddlers are not interested in my guided tour. So they follow me around with their toddlers. I'm literally talking 1-2-year-old kids. And then they are loudly translating everything I'm saying in Dutch in real time to their bloody toddlers. There is something odd about Dutch parenting, and I'm very concerned about the next generations of Dutch.
Meanwhile, your Norwegian group absolutely loved you today.
Yeah,
They were great.
I'm great. Which makes it very annoying to be simultaneously translated to Dutch every time a Dutch person have a toddler.
By the way, going back to the pictures here, Robert concurs, those are Mongolian. So there, okay, we got it. Nikki says, well, at least the kids aren't on their iPads. I gotta say, that's true.
No, those 45 minutes, the kids are not on their iPad.
Those 45 minutes. I don't see them on the iPad too much in the village, any kids, usually. They're usually running around trying to do archery, axe throwing, spear.
Yeah, unless their Dutch parents drag them with them on my guided tour.
On behalf of all of Norway, Garcia, I'd like to apologize to the Dutch. Carl knows. Oh, look at there's a car. You got like a tail sticking out of your head, depending on how the green screen
But
recognizes
it's also
fuzzy.
so weird, because it's only the Dutch that do this, and they do it every time.
Oh, there's some others. The Americans do it too.
No, because I'm speaking English.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Next picture. This is a part of the... Oh, no, this is down by the... We looked at a little bit of this last time. This is down where probably India. Let's see. There it is. It's very decorated bow. Let's see if I blow that one up. It's hard to see. But you can see, if you zoom in there as well as you can see the string. For example, the way it's kind of chunkier on one end and tighter in the middle there. And then you can see how decorated that bow is. I would not be surprised if that was bone or horn inlay. They really are amazing with bone and horn work. This one we can actually read a little bit. The government was against further territorial expansion, but found it difficult to control its officials in India. By the 1820s, the British had defeated the independent states of cannot quite read that, and the Marathas. The conquest of the Marthas. Watch out for Martha! The conquest of the Sindh and the Punjab in the 1840s established their control over most of India. Above was a map of India, 1858, which we don't have a picture of. Or, no, actually it is in there. No, that's talking about the map. Okay. Doesn't the thing about the bow is probably further off to the right. But anyway, this one has a very clear gripping point in the middle. You can see it kind of tapers in and out at the middle there for your hand. There's also, yeah, the bowstring is kind of interesting. It's got a hook on each end to loop it with. But it's also it looks like very roughly spun or twisted. That's another thing, by the way. So when you go to put the string on the bow, oops, sorry, I'm pausing. There we go. You have to wrap it. Let's see. I can put the screen up a little bit here. Okay, so when you go to string the bow, higher, you will have to twist it, either Z twist or Y twist the bowstring sometimes to get more attention, so that the horsehairs or whatever it be made of aren't loose. So instead of having them split, you would have them, you twist it anyway. But which way do you twist it, by the way? Do you twist it away from you or do you twist it towards you?
Never
One
mind
would be Z twist, one would be S twist.
I've never made the bowstring in my life,
Yeah.
but I really don't think it matters.
No, I was just kind of wondering about that. Let's see if I put it you a little bit. Let's see, this way. You can see the bowstring kind of right next there. But I was just wondering why was it a little rough on the top. Robert says, I think that might be one of the very rare Indian steel bows. Oh, cool. That could have been, actually. I didn't even see what it would be made of. Robert says, the Chinese and Mongolian bows use string bridge, which you can see on that bow just at the bottom of the sayas. Okay. Oh, yeah. And then I think that it might be one of the very rare Indian bows. The twist of the bowstring makes no difference at all. Oh, thank God. Because I'm sitting there trying to wind it because you can see it gets a little loose on our archery station, and you know you're going to have to twist it to have it tight in the middle, but I never know, is it towards me or away from me?
You should be able to see that very clearly.
It depends on how
and obviously, if you loosen the twist, that's a problem.
That's what I mean. Oftentimes, if I have to do that, it's because it's very loose, and then if I can't see which way it was twisted. So you have to sit there.
I would say that's visually very apparent when you look at it.
Depends on, yeah, but it depends on how untwisted it was. Sometimes they're so untwisted on the children's bows, for example.
Oh yeah. Then it's time to get a new string.
Yeah, I ordered some. Let's see. Nikki says, "Oh, it happens. The kids these days swipe at books, and I was even found guilty of wanting to zoom in on a book to see the detail the other day. So swiping on the book and zooming in." And I hear Carla, she's not been to the vet yet. No, Nikki, somebody didn't wake up in time to catch the bus so we're blaming him.
But she's pretty competent compared to yesterday.
I think you might be right though, because we also had a fire alarm smoke alarm that kept beeping every 5 seconds due to condensation downstairs, and so that's been disabled, and we have to find a better way.
No, it was beeping because it was running out of battery.
Oh, running out of battery. Okay, yeah.
So
she might have been reacting to that because I sure as hell was reacting to that thing.
Carla?
I think, yeah, okay. And then let's get another bow up here. Further along, somewhat near the same 2 displays, I think. Let's see, I'll put it over here so that Carl can see a little better. He said, Robert says, that reminds me I have made up bowstrings from the long bow in the archery locker. Oh, thank you. Is that in ours, or yeah? In our archery locker, we had the... he says, he did it at home. I'll send it up, he says. Okay, cool. But I wasn't sure about the twist, so that's good to know, because I think somebody said you had to do it towards you, and some said you had to do away from you. And,
no, but that's superstition. It's like...
it's like with the kvarn, the wheat mill. When you grind the mill, if you go to the right or the left, it would be one is superstition, one is good bad luck. And
yeah, but... it probably doesn't matter there either, but at least there is a little bit more of a reason why it should matter there.
Those rings are for helping draw the string, yeah, at the base there, I can see. For some reason, I think my computer stopped here. Let's see. I paused it on accident somehow, so now I have to zoom ahead. Then we have the picture up that I couldn't see before. There we go. Okay, yeah, so the picture is up. Carl, it's been up for a little while. Let's see. There we go. Now is it? No, it's not. Now it's live. Okay. Anyway, so you have a quiver that almost looks like it's like almost like a guitar box again, a very stiff quiver, with a handle on it and everything, so that you can carry with it. Do those arrows lock into place then? It almost looks like the upper right could be like slipped in and out of it.
But it has exactly the same symbol as on the samurai one, so I'm guessing we are back to Japan.
Yeah, no, most of the artillery was up there, because down on the other floor it was mostly artillery.
No, but Japan was like one wall.
Yeah. And you can see the different feathers that they kind of used there. And then it looks like the one on the left could be something. Oh, that has actually a quiver as well, but I didn't think so. But I thought it would look like the other one, like the bowling pin one. But actually, no, I can see that there's fur on that one. But okay, am I right in my thought process here that maybe the holder in the upper right could be pulled out of the case in the middle, So you could, do you think, or no?
I don't know.
It looks like it holds the arrows into place, though, because
If
if
the
you're
little
gonna,
thing can do the whole job of the big thing, then why do you have the big thing?
yeah, I was wondering. And then you can see also there's like an arrow on the right-hand side of the screen that almost looks like it has a cap for it, but that looks closer to a dart size. Like somewhere halfway
Yeah.
between an arrow and a dart, if you look at these. Actually, a lot of their arrows are very big feather, very small arrow. The ones on the left are smaller than the ones on the right.
It's either a small recurve or crossbow.
Okay, I have so many questions for Robert. What is the advantages and disadvantages of having a longer arrow, like on the right, versus a shorter arrow, which almost looks like a dart on the left? And there's also another case kind of going there on the left. I don't know if we can zoom in. But yeah, this is most likely up in the Mongolia area.
Japan, I would say.
Maybe. Let's see. Okay, zooming out again so I can see. Okay, there we go.
Also, the rice paper wall in the background is a hint.
And then Albert has another point. What do you make the bowstrings of? I've heard everything from sinew to horsehair.
I don't think sinew was ever used for bowstrings. Correct.
Because it stretches,
correct. Yeah, but you don't want the bowstring to be stretchy.
Exactly.
You want the bow to be doing all the elasticity work.
Yeah.
Waxed linen thread is what I hear about Viking bowstrings.
Mm.
But silk was also used, probably
Boiled umbilical cords.
probably in the Far East. Silk was what I would prefer.
Yeah.
You want something that is about as stretchy as steel and as solid as you can get it.
Mm. By the way, for those waiting for needle binding, we'll do it right after the picture. The pictures. Robert says, okay, so the quiver on the left will be similar to the ones that you would have been found in Birka. Okay, I wouldn't have thought about that. I would have thought those would have been much shorter. Shorter than the finds in Birka, actually. And then, of course, they're talking about the one that looks like a bolt. Torben says it looks like a bolt. Nikki says it looks like a vampire stake. Actually, I do have that for another ranged. There's a vampire slaying kit, but that goes in the gun category. Rodisby says, I think the sign says Japanese archery. Laugh out loud. It probably does, actually. And then, yeah. So anyway, I was wondering if that piece could be slipped in and out. And then, of course, why would that be if you were going to be horse riding or not? Linen was the traditional material in Britain and Europe, said Robert. That's actually, I didn't think about that too, but that's quite a strong fiber.
And that's what I told you, like waxed linen thread.
Waxed linen, yeah.
Wax it so that
sign on the
it
top
is...
left. Oh, for crap's sake. Look at the top. It says right up there, Japanese archery. I was focused on the little signs. I was so zoomed in. Okay, looks like my mountainous background is doing the trick. Okay, we'll find another one while we kind of think a little bit there. This one I thought was cool. This looks like a collapsible bow. It looks like you could, like a little portable. See? Ooh. It's like folded in half. And this one, I think we might actually, it's a composite bow is the top one, which would probably be, this is probably below the two round circular ones that we saw. Yeah. If that's the case, then the composite bows that were above would have been Chinese, probably 16th century. And the folding composite bow is also China, can't quite, it looks like 19th century, but I can't quite make that out. Let's see. If I put this camera right into my face here. This bow has a hinge at the middle of its grip. Can't quite read this. Something if it be parried in a confined space. Oh, so it can be carried in, enabling it to be carried in a confined space. For example, in, yeah, can't read that. This arrangement, something weakens the bow. Yeah,
of course it does.
I would think so. But yeah, so you could, that it would be easier for you to carry around with you.
If there ever was something that was clearly designed for assassinations, is this thing.
Really? Because you could just, like snick it under your coat while going through security, and they won't see it.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
Security in this case is two grumpy-looking Chinese guards, but yeah.
Let's see. Gold star for Carl, says Robert, on the linen, by the way. Nikki says, a friend of mine learned to spin so he could spin linen for his fletching. And then now looking at this one, Torben says, my Swiss pocket bow. And Nikki says, but wait, there's more. If you call in the next 5 minutes, I'll throw in a folding bow. And Torben says, den passer under sängen. It will fit underneath your bed. What is it? Let's see. Robert, I have a 50-pound longbow that has a Kevlar string. Could you make me a linen one? I'll gladly pay. He's not kidding, actually. Robert would. Okay, so if you call in the next 5 minutes, you can have this. It's kind of reminds me of the wishbone on a turkey. Just make a wish, see who gets the bigger half. No, but the hinge would make it very weakened, especially because, okay, so when you would have to fold it out this way and then bend it even more. Wouldn't that put like way too much stress?
The hinge would be on the outside.
Yeah, it is on the outside, yeah.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that put like way too much stress on the hinge?
It puts a lot of stress on it, but not way too much.
But you only needed to do one shot?
It's probably not that powerful to begin with. And the center of these things is hard. There is no bend in the center.
No.
And since the hinge would literally be on absolute center point,
yeah,
the only force that kind of works on it is the pulling force, because it wants to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So if the hinge is solidly made, it should probably work, but
not for kids, Robert, because Robert is asking Albert how long it is. I like that one. Well spotted, Nikki. But yeah, so anyway, but you're thinking assassin because it was easy to carry along with you. And then which case it really only has to do one shot.
Well, if you're good, but it would be big when you put it together, when you put it up. It's not exactly like your pocket pistol. But you can get into a position where you can fold it out. So if, say, random Chinese warlord number 2 from the left is holding a speech to his troops, and his guards are looking after the 3-story building right next to him.
Yeah.
They might not care about the guy with a harp going upstairs.
Ah, well.
But the guy with the bow going upstairs might be a problem.
Garcia's making a harp. She can distract.
Yes, but we try to keep assassinating Chinese warlords to absolute minimum right now.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay, here's the next. We might have shown this one before. It's hard to tell because it's so small. No, yeah, this is a more close-up picture of the quiver that had like fur on it that was to the left in one of the previous photos. Let's see.
It's funny.
Now you can see it better. And now, oh yeah, there's a crossbow in there. So those are darts, or crossbow bolts. Anyway, there's a crossbow on the left, and then would that be the case for the crossbow next to it? Do you think?
The what now?
Or okay, because there's like this case in the middle which has like fur on one end. It's got a carrying handle, and a little bit extra reinforcement on the top. It almost looks like it's upside down. The thing, and it has like little bolts at the bottom there, which looks a bit like what the hell do you call those? The blowers in a smithy.
Bellows.
Bellows, yeah. It almost looks like bellows at the one end.
The blowers in the smithy can also be the blacksmith, but
that's a story for another day. I also noticed that if you look behind the arrows on the right, you can see there's a little mini bow there. That must be really small, like barely enough room for your hand on the grip.
Yeah, but depending on what it's made out of, it could still be pretty powerful.
I mean, it could be long if you were a Smurf, but...
Yeah, but when it comes to composite bows, particularly, the length isn't...
No.
It's a factor, but it's not as much of a determinant.
But that would explain why you'd have the smaller arrows, too, for example. And those are really pointed tips there. But yeah, you have the crossbow there, so anything you want to say about the crossbow? It looks like just a simple kind of a slingshot thing there. With a groove in the middle. And you can see the bolts to the bottom left that it would carry.
It's a very simple crossbow, and I'm tempted to say it looks like it is missing components.
Yeah, kind of. Well, yeah, because you'd have the string and it would just have... There's like a lever on the top back that would be missing, I'm thinking. It's something that would hold it.
Yes, but
Unless it's upside... No, it's not upside down.
If the only force you can pull it with is your own muscle strength, and you don't have anything to rest it against, you don't have the stirrup at the end as you do with European ones, or some kind of hook or something. Then
Smurfs is outer. Yeah, they might have had Smurfs.
Then you end up with a crossbow that is about as powerful as a weak bow. And that's not the job of a crossbow. The job of a crossbow is to be much, much, much more powerful than a bow.
Okay. By the way, Robert's got it pointed out. Crossbows shoots quarrels. I
Yep.
was calling them bolts because I had no idea. Quarrels. That's quite cool. Can it be used for making sprang? The linen, I'm thinking, or the nose that they're collecting. You can absolutely use linen to make sprang. It would make a better hairnet than the wool would because the wool would snag in your hair much more quickly. The bow, says Albert, is 185 centimeters long. He's referring to the one that he needs Robert to make string for. 50 pounds and made of elm wood. Okay, so Outer wants to know where I found the Smurfs. Because there's a Smurf bow in the back there. Nikki says, I'm embroidering steampunk cats. Started a beanie and VOD, but no chance of finishing it by the end of the month. But VOD would actually, I think that would make, that's the stitch of the month. It almost looks like a extra long York type stitch, but that would be actually pretty cool in a beanie, I would think. I decided I don't like it for a pouch because I'd have to line it. Anything would fall right through that thing. Torben says, doesn't the cat scream a lot when you embroider them, Nikki? Let's see. If I can turn that camera here. No, there. Oh, there might be a ghostly cat in the background, but it's not working. I have to remove the green screen to see him. There. Oops. No, remove the green screen. It's just out of reach. Nope, it's just going to be this weird cat. He's staring at you, Nikki. It's there. I think I have to hit the done button. Oh, there you go. Okay, anyway, there's a ghostly cat. Okay, next picture. Oops, there we go. Okay, then we have the horseback riding guy. Oh, yep, then we're into the crossbows. Here's another one. This is actually just showing you the quarrels. I'm getting better. Now I'm in trouble, says Nikki. And no pink anatomy. No, there's pink anatomy. It's just further up there. Don't worry, I'll bring it out for you. Carl is fondling his pussy, not for kids. That's what Peruta said anyway. But yeah, there you can see some of the quarrels. And this is a really interesting crossbow. Bow for a crossbow, Chinese 19th century. The heavy composite bow is fitted with, it looks like hags. It could be hugs.
Don't cuddle that.
Don't cuddle the thing, yeah. To engage the tiller of stock of the crossbow to which the bow would be bound. The deep recurve in the bow gives an indication of its power. I don't think that's referring to the that's referring to the one of the other bows I think we saw.
It's referring to the crossbow that we're talking
about. That we were talking about. Okay. And then here is let's see. Fuzzy is starting to snuggle the thing. There is the crossbow. Yeah, and it does have a sign underneath. This has a really interesting handhold thing here. I don't think I can read the side underneath, no matter how much I zoom. But okay, Carl, this crossbow here has a really... I do have another picture of it. They also had a nice picture of it on one of their signs, so I took a picture of that too. But okay, explain this. You've got these quarrels up above. How many can you load into that thing?
I would guess 6 or 8.
Okay, so this one is a lot more advanced than the...
But there is no spring in this magazine, so they're kind of gravity-based.
Yeah.
The string goes along the bottom and catches them when you pull the top lever back.
Yeah, it looks like almost in the middle.
That pulls the string and lets go of the string. So the quicker you can pull that thing back, the quicker it can shoot. So these can shoot pretty quickly, but they are not all that powerful because the power that you put into a bow or a crossbow is the power you get out of it.
Yeah.
And since I've focused so hard on it, making it quick to shoot, it isn't really that powerful.
Oh, there's you and your pussy. No, but you have like this. How would you just pull back or?
Yeah.
Let's see, there's another picture of that. This is the one that was from the museum. Their own picture. This is a picture of their poster actually, but you can see it another angle of it. It also has like this little thing pointing. Where's that point? What is that called at the dot there that it's pointing to, or they're trying to refer to? You can see it's extra bound actually right at the side there in the middle, but only on one side, not the other.
Probably on both.
Oh, it's probably okay, but that's where they're putting two pieces together. You can also see that there's a split in the bone. Would that actually have been two different pieces paneled together, or is that just a split with age? No, it's a split on the other side too.
No, it's two different pieces. It's what composite is.
Oh,
It's
okay.
put together by different things. So wood, horn, bone, sinew, whatever the fuck.
Okay, and so how would you hold this thing?
Awkwardly, while you are cranking the lever like a crazy person.
Maybe I can put this up and you can, let's see if you can post or point.
This is not...
Okay, so let's try. Maybe if I turn it this way, now we might get the other anatomy thing for you there. Okay, so you can kind of point now. We have this hole here. Is that where your finger goes? Or how?
I don't think there's a trigger in that hole because the entire mechanism fires automatically when you pull the thing back.
Okay, and then you pull, there we go. I'm weather girdling this here. I can figure out where to point. This obviously goes down. You can see the hinge.
So you see the bottom thing there with the a little T at the end.
Here? Where am I pointing to?
That thing? Can you point at it?
Here?
Yeah.
This
the
bottom one.
there.
Yeah, this one here. Okay.
I'm guessing that one goes under your arm. Then the hand that holds the weapon, that would probably be your right, goes through the hole, and this thing is under your arm like this. And then you grab the crank like this and go clock, bonk, clock, bonk.
I'm sorry,
bonk.
say that again. I didn't quite understand.
Clock, bonk, clock, bonk, clock, bonk.
And about 6 times, then you have to reload. How much of a pain in the ass would it be to reload that thing?
Not much of a pain in the ass at all. You
Does
just
it like click in and you just file another one?
drop bolts into the top of the magazine. It's pretty easy.
Ah, okay.
But they would hit with little force and practically no precision. What does help though is that you are one out of however many people the Chinese decides to give these things to. So it would be like a consistent swarm of arrows hitting your opponent. The thing that has me a little bit worried about this thing, because something like this would be bloody golden in the Viking Age, but this is from the 19th century. The people that are fighting have the brown best. They have, in the beginning of the 19th century, they have good muskets, and at the end of it, they have good rifles.
Okay.
You don't have to be shot by this thing because you can kill the guy who has it before he is even close enough to hit you.
Huh. Let's see. There was PJ says, I'm quiet because I'm painting, trying to paint a dark beach on an iPad. The color of the month is black, so it's really hard to work with. So maybe, by the way, also, Prue is pointing out that you're fondling your pussy.
Yes.
There he is, happily being fondled. And then Nikki says, that's easy, just paint it black. Torben says, I tried to embroider some cyberpunk budgies, but the lady next door called the Dyrebeskyttelsen, the animal protection agency.
Cyberpunk what now?
Budgies. Budgies is a British word for little bird. Kind of bird. Little bird. I forget what the... Anyway. Budgies. They talk about it in Harry Potter. Budgies. A little budgie on a water skis. It was in a TV show or something on in news element or something in Harry Potter when he was in the Muggle world. Ask me what a kind of a geek I am. Poor Budgie, says Nikki. But if you can get an arrow in the eye, it's working good enough, says Audra.
This is true. But something like that probably had to literally hit you in the eye to be a serious threat if you're wearing armor.
The crossbows look similar to... I think I missed the rest of that. Oh, yeah. I'm not sure if there's a variant of this tracing back to ancient China or something. Most likely, most of the archery stuff came from upstairs.
It is Chinese.
It's probably,
but it isn't that old. It is...
Yeah, they said 19th century, I think. So it was actually much... If I read that correctly. But then I was reading the sign above it, too, so I have no idea. Time to see the doctor. I have a large splinter in my eye. Nothing serious, says Nikki. Torben is quoting me. The finger goes in the hole. Not for kids. Notice the orientation of the stock. It would be shouldered. It would be held against your body at waist height. Okay.
Okay.
Demonstrate for us, Carl.
Uh,
Obviously, the big T at the end here would be
so then you're kind of holding it like a belly bow.
belly bow.
That one I didn't have at Armory, but you can Google it.
Would it be handy to have a big belly for a belly bow? Because I could do that.
It would be handy to be heavy for one, but
Oh my God, I've seen a belly bow. Holy crap, look at that thing. Google it and see. I'm sure Peruta will have a link up in like seconds flat, but... Okay, how old is the belly bow?
that's
we didn't see anything like that in the museum.
No, this is a Byzantine special occasion weapon.
And depending on your Google search, you might find a pregnant lady with a bow on her stomach. That's not what we're talking about.
You might be, because this is... an archer is a specialist. It's somebody who's been training since they were 5 years old and has enormous muscles on the right side of their body and normal on the other. But if you can use people's body weight to pull the bow, then everybody in the besieged city, depending on their body weight, can pull bows of up to 100 pounds. So your chubby classmate who can't lift his pencil is all of a sudden a great archer because all he has to do is to lean forward to pull this thing. And he can fire a 200-pound bow.
I got this. Okay, I have a job in the war. But yeah, he said...
chubby classmate.
We might have one
It's
of
a
those.
dirty job, but somebody's
got to do it. I can be the chubby classmate. Okay, notice the orientation of the stock. He said it wouldn't be shouldered. It would be against your body above the waist height. So is he talking almost like...
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I've never seen the things in use, so I was just speculating. But it kind of makes sense. You want a solid grip on it to handle the lever thingy.
Audra says it's semi-automatic. Actually, yeah, it kind of is semi-automatic.
Yeah, depending on definition. You could say it's fully automatic because it's just operation. There is no trigger.
Ooh, PJ says I finally saw a doc about my knee. Meniscus tear plus osteoarthritis. Aging sucks. Tell me about it. I think I got to get my foot looked at. I might have a fracture. I basically turned my heel, but my foot's been hurting ever since. So especially when I walk too much. But anyway, I'm one of those people that thinks it'll be better in 2 weeks. So, but anyway, Max says I'm not sure there's a variant of this tracing back to ancient China or something. I'm not sure there's like a variant of this tracing back to ancient China or something. I would probably think so.
If there was, I think the museum would have told us about it. But,
it might have in that little picture
I
too.
am not an expert on China, so it's entirely possible.
The last sound you'll ever hear, says Nolvia, cluck bunk, cluck bunk, cluck bunk. Ding, with a ghost. No, not the black yarn, says Lyra. No, the forbidden, scary black yarn. For those with it, it's not even easier with better eyesight. I don't think younger eyes could work with black yarn as well. Undulot is a budgie. There you go. An undulot is a budgie.
Oh.
Okay. It's called undulot in Norwegian as well. So, well, actually, British be speaking Swedish. So, yeah. Is it a canary? I think in English, American English. Budgies are a small parrot. Yeah, so it's a canary. Budgie smugglers are tight undies down under. I'm going to give you that look. Pruda says, budgie smuggler, Australian word for men's Speedo. I didn't know that. We're learning so many new things today. Maybe we should have brought out the ocarinas. I keep saying that wrong. Torben says, had to put the Merglings to bed. See you all around. Good luck, Torben. We're going to get into the heavy artillery here. I'm not going to the bed the kids are. I'm up for gin and Warhammer. Oh, there you go. Carl needs to start working on something now. I'm going to make him stash bust one orc. Go to sleep, Daddy craves a drink and it's your fault. Sometimes you just have to have a little liquid dessert. What can I say? Canaries and budgies are different birds. Laugh out loud. Well, crap. Oh, it's a parakeet. Thank you. Nolvia's got it. It's a parakeet. We didn't have birds in my family. Well, no, actually, my grandfather had one, and we had to keep putting a cover over it.
We didn't have birds in my family.
Pet birds.
Mm.
My grandfather had one. We had to keep putting a thing over it because it made too much noise.
The guy I bought Carla from was collecting exotic birds.
Yeah.
And Persian drugs, and antique cars, and Siamese cats.
But it's a little different version of it, but it's the same one. It's just a little different angle. If I turn it this way and get my head out of the way, you can see it better. Look, there's the hole for the finger. Just checking to see if Torben's still here. Okay, so now we learned about the budgies. I remember looking this up once, but yeah, it's a parakeet then. PJ says James Bond and his budgie smugglers waiting out in the sea. Max says, I've been thinking about funny nicknames for Reese. Nikki says, budgies and canaries are different. Budgies come in a lot of colors, blues, greens, yellow, and canaries are more rounded yellow and different beaks too. Okay. No, I definitely failed that one. Oh, here's the bow I was talking about. This one is super small and super curved. You can see, like, look at the size of the arrow, and that kind of gives you an idea how big that bow is. It's quite small. This is one of those, I think Runa said he really liked quite a bit because it's a horseback riding one, of course. So this is probably, let's see if we can read anything from the sign. A bow for a crossbow. Oh, no. Bow for a crossbow. This heavy composite bow is fitted with, oh yeah, this is what we were reading earlier. Fitted with lugs to engage the tiller of the stock and the crossbow, to which the bow would be bounced. The deep recurve of the bow gives an indication of the power. 19th century. But look, if you zoom in there, you can kind of see where you would knock the arrow, etc. But holy crap, that thing must be a pain in the ass. You can see, actually, it almost looks like it's damaged on the bottom right side, at the right end of it. But you can see that from the indentation there, where the string would go, it actually twists that whole thing in the opposite direction to string that. Also, look at the tip on that thing. But it looks like it's using these quarrels or crossbow type thing. Okay. But that's okay. So it's like a cross between a crossbow and a bow. A composite bow. How close am I here? Am I getting this?
The bow on a crossbow can be whatever. Normally it's spring carbon steel, but you could use a composite bow, no problem.
Torben says, finger. Yes, I'm here. I was testing him. Robert says, I think that would be the first ever thumb hole stock. The hole would be for your thumb. Oh, but of course. To hold it better, yeah. And then you, okay. Whoop. Okay, so if I go back to thinking of you would have, like, the thumb here, and you could hold, if you used that one cross T and kind of, like, put it here at your high waist level and you have your thumb there to kind of hold it in place, then you could just, the crossbow thing. I'm learning. Okay, back to this thing. The horseshoe-looking bow. Look at the tip on that thing. Look at it, says Torben. Brutus says, I don't know if I want to read the whole line. I just read Hector stuck his finger in the hole at Vollen Viking Center. Then my mind went nuts. And when he pulled it out, there was a copper ring on his finger. How does that happen?
You have to ask Peruna. It's her hole.
It's her hole. Maybe she put a ring on his finger. She put a ring on it. Or maybe it, something came off. Let's see. I think that would be the first ever oh, no, we did the thumb hole stock. That hole would be for the thumb. Spot on, Karen. Yay. Not for kids. I see Prime Bunny isn't here. Oh, yeah. No, he was up here earlier. I thought he was here in the very beginning. I thought I saw him over there. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, no, he was here very in the beginning. Very, very beginning. He says, hi, Audra. That was right before we got started, though. Okay, anything else on this bow, or do we want to move to the next picture?
can probably move to the next
I
one.
think we're running out of bows. And then we... Oh, no, there's some more here. Oh, this is a quiver. I love the detail on it. Robert says, Pruda, so many questions that I'm not sure I want to know the answers to it. She says, the hole was in a door, so obviously someone previously had stuck their finger and lost their ring. Oh! Somebody else stuck their finger in the hole and lost... Okay, but anyway, look at the details on this thing. I don't know how useful it was. It doesn't matter, but look at the details. Okay, and then you have a different kind of you've got little strings hanging off of it, so that would be to put around your to cross your body, maybe.
I think it's probably just streamers and decoration.
But that is like velvet that it is on, and I don't know
Because
if that was. I don't think
sometimes-
that's embroidery. I think that's...
I'm afraid this might come across as a tiny bit racist. But sometimes I really get the impression that for Asians, it's more important to look cool fighting than it is to actually win.
That's why I took the most pictures of their stuff, though, because maybe they lost. I don't know, but it looks really cool. I like their stuff. There's this guy actually has a whole armor set that matches this outfit here. And I did take up close-up pictures of it, but we'll go into that with armor and detail because there's a ton of pictures on detail.
I imagine that...
That was the one thing I wanted to do when going back. I could take pictures of what... see, and Nikki says, I need that quiver. No, but so the thing is, you wanted to go back and see the gladiators, etc. I wanted to go back and take even better pictures of the detail on those armors.
I imagine the poor Indian guy who dies in a battlefield in India in 1700 to an English East India company man, and then he looks up at him and says, well, at least I will be the guy that will be photographed by the American at the Royal Armoury.
Oh, so Nikki says, I need that quiver. Okay, I need that quiver. And Lyra says, it's called fashion, darling. So bite me, Carl. It's cool. Next time you tell me what to take pictures of. And by the way, more on the ring, the questionable ring. Torben says, so if you lose your ring, you're eager. And Albert says, so it wasn't a glory hole. Well, then.
I think
I thought it would have made a very good proposal story. He stuck his finger in a glory hole and she put a ring on it.
I think very, very few beautiful friendships start at the glory hole. I might be wrong.
It depends. Are we talking about the gold rush glory hole or the glass blowing glory hole?
Both of those.
Both of those, yeah. Anyhow, okay, so that was a really cool quiver. All right, next one. I'm not sure if we did this one before. Carl, you look like you're 2-ton Tessie in that. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's another style quiver. I thought we saw this one. But look at the size of that one. It looks like it almost tucks in under your arm. Because it's got like a K indent on the right side. Well, it looks kind of like it looks like the state of Minnesota is what it does look like, actually. So around where Lake Superior would be, would that go under your arm? So you could reach them out forward.
I'm not entirely sure.
It has quite the harness on it too. But more decoration. And I don't think I can zoom in close enough to see what it says underneath, but I believe one of them is Chinese. Don't you scratch my couch, cat. Okay. I suspect Japanese armor was like Japanese castles, says Pruda. It's supposed to look so impressive that nobody even tries to tell you, to challenge you. Actually, that would be like the Sutton Hoo thing, too. The Sutton Hoo armor had like garnet in the eye slits. So for one thing, the thing was so damn shiny that if he was standing up at the top of the hill, he would be like blindingly golden in armor. And then he's got glowing red eyes. Carla, you may not scratch my couch. Get down. Get down, Carla. She's sitting over there being... I don't know if I can get it. There. Ghostly cat. Okay. But anyhow. So there you go, the Minnesota quiver. Those were the Mongolian quiver. I beg to differ, says Radisby. I bet the glory hole was created tons of great but short-lived friendships. I like that one. Maybe it's attached to a saddle, says Nolvia. That's a good thought, actually. Yeah, that could be. Robert says, see, this is what pisses me off about some museum displays. The quiver is shown hanging the wrong way up. Those cords would probably be attached to the archer's belt. Oh, okay, I see that then. I see we've got the Wheel of Death. Let's see. No, it was just something else. Okay. Got it. All right. Oh, there it goes. Back to Mongolian, says Robert. It would be hanging from a belt. I have. It will have thick felt coiled in the bottom of the arrow to hold the arrows in place. Oh, okay. I was wondering how they keep the arrows from falling out then. If it was, all right. So that explains that. Let's see. Where's my pictures? Oh, that's the back to the beginning. Okay, now we're going to get into the heavy artillery, the Gatling guns.
Maybe I can have a cigarette first.
Do you want to have a cigarette first? Okay, well, actually, wait a minute. Let's do this. You can say hello to your cat. Let's see where the first picture is at, and then I'll go. Oh, these are the books that were damaged. Ah, there's another little crossbow, actually. Take a look at that one, Carl, and then I will find my needle binding.
I can probably read the text beneath it, but this one I've talked about on YouTube
I did actually
before.
take a picture of the text, yeah, on this one. There's 2 pictures of it. And there's one from the actual thing, and then there was the little picture, but I was going to see if I could find my...
And when I come back, let's see if I remember correctly what happens if you're caught with one of those in Venice wearing a mask.
One of those in Venice wearing a mask? There's a
It's
story
not
here.
Good.
Okay, now I kind of want to know that story. Where is... what am I not knowing? All right, I am... let's see. We'll put... You'd think I'd have my needle binding ready with me, but... oh, there it is. Okay. So, we have needle binding, we have cat. We have cat killing needle binding. If we turn off the green screen... how do I do that again? Let's see. How did I do that? Nope. Oh, I had to just go all the way left here, and then I do no green screen. Okay. Oh, by the way, sorry, I promised Audra. Remember the pink yarn? Let's see. And then we'll find the nice mountain picture. And we'll see if we can't make that sucker float in the air. It's not showing up, Audra. Oh, there it is! There it is, Audra! It's not ocarina's. It's pink yarn. Let's see. Zoom back out again. There you go. It's just pink yarn. But yeah, it seems to like flesh colored. All right, then we'll tilt this down here. And we'll play with the vod stitch while he is out. I have to go get a needle, and then we'll be good to go. I left the needle on my other table. Got to have the really big teaching needle, as I call it, because it's so big, even the people in the back row can see it. And do you think I would remember where I put that? No. Nope, I'm an idiot. Okay, then what do I have for another needle binding needle that I can use? No, okay, we'll just use the ill-prepared today. That's why we had to go 15 minutes late. Because we were running out of time. But I do have... Let's see, actually, maybe I have a different needle in here I can use. Did I show you I was working on another Balder hat? The Balder yarn hat? Haha. This is just regular Oslo stitch because it goes fast for me, and super thick yarn. But these ones, they sell really well. But it, oh, this has to be the wrong side, sorry. There we go. Ta-da! But it's pretty color. Okay, you can stare at that for a little bit while I look one more time for a needle. No. I'm sure it's put in such a good spot that I will find it when I'm done. Okay, done looking at the Balder hat. Oh, that's something I should put on my stash busting list. The rest of the Balder yarn. I think I have enough to make 1 or 2 more hats. And then whatever's left will just end up being a pouch. Okay, so nope, didn't have the needle with me, so we'll do it with a darning needle. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Okay, so this is the vod stitch. This is the technical right side, which, by the way, this is this is up on top. It should actually be underneath. So I almost did my last stitch wrong. I see, I didn't notice it until now. But yeah, unlike Oslo, etc., the finished stitches, this one goes underneath. The leader yarn is underneath the last loop. But yeah, this is the technical right side. But on this one, I actually kind of like the technical wrong side. It looks a bit like York, but much longer. You can see each row height there. And there's the total height. It's almost like working with the black yarn, this one, when it's in the darkest colors. Their darkest color. It's like their darkest hour, which is what I'm on now, so this will be good. Okay, so then we'll... I saw that needle right before YouTube, so I'm probably going to find it right when we're done. Okay, so there we are. Vod stitch. This is, I believe, the last time we're working on the vod stitch. I have to put my foot out here. Okay. Is working through the bottom loops, the last three. So loop 1, loop 2 is actually there, and loop 3. Let me put that closer to my eyes and make sure I have that right. No, loop 1 is actually... See, this is the loop. I think it went under. When I fixed it, I put it under the wrong loop. Hang on, we'll do this back again. And because it's the loop that tightens is the last one. So it would actually have gone through there. Okay. Now I either messed it up completely or it's right now. But no, this is right. Okay, so now you can see from the bottom it shows it much better on the camera than it does in person. But here's loop 1, loop 2, loop 3. Did you take that microphone out with you again when you were outside earlier?
Yeah.
I saw you took it off just now, but now you're in, so...
Yeah, but now I'm going to the toilet, so it's more important.
You got to hurry up, though, because 20% battery says you got to hurry up. And I know you in the bathroom don't exist less than 5 minutes. Okay. Anyway, more information you wanted to know. But we're going to work at the bottom of the loops here. And it's kind of off the thumb. I only tighten it to the thumb to try to keep it to the same size. When you connect, we're going to connect with these long middle stitches on the back. So first we connect it to the long middle one. Let's see. Connecting there. Then you go, let's see, maybe we pull this string out of the way. Under, or on the bottom one, you go from behind, 1, 2, 3. I know somebody had sick thoughts when I said that. And then you turn it upwards, and this yarn goes forward, I think. Did I do that right? Yeah. So when you pull it through there, it's actually going under the loop. You can see I have not been working on this loop since last week. And it looks like it's kind of pulling a gap there. That means your next one will be pulled there. So you don't want to pull it any tighter than that. Then middle one behind is the one you're picking up from right to left. And then you 1, 2, 3. It's important not to mix those up, but you can kind of see where that little gap is there. You've got the first 3 loops. This is going to be trickier when you're doing a chain because it's really easy to mix these up, but you can cut off the first row and just get going. Once it's connected, it's easier to see. Then turn it upwards and make sure the working yarn goes on top. And tighten to the thumb a little bit, and then take it off your thumb again. So this was a tricky stitch to do, but it kind of made sense for a scary month. Work with a dark yarn and work with a stitch that's completely different than most that we do, because you're working through the bottom of the loops and you're connecting to the middle back. But it does have a pretty high row height. I'm still not 100% sure if I like this thickness for the yarn, but I did try a thicker yarn, a much thicker yarn, and I wasn't happy with that either. But the row height is, so it might be a little bit trickier to do, but the row height is so much, it's almost a centimeter here, that whatever you make with it is going to work up quite quickly. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, turn upwards, put the working yarn in front, pull through. So I saw that Nikki was going to try a hat in this one, a beanie. I think that would be nice because it'll be kind of airy, but warm at the same time. This was going to be a pouch, but it has, you can see my fingers through there quite easily. So I think anything I put in here would fall out quite quickly. So if I do turn this into a pouch, it's going to be one where I sew up the bottom and make kind of a flat pouch. If I do, I would make a liner and put it in there so that whatever goes in it doesn't poke out so quickly, so easily, although a needle would poke out of anything. Okay. So middle one connection, get that yarn out of the way. Bottom 1, 2, 3, tilt upwards, put the yarn forward and come across. So we'll do a couple more and then get Karl down here, and we'll go quickly through the Gatling guns because I see that my battery is down to 17% on my phone. But we're over an hour anyway. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, twist upwards. Ta-da! Looks like I did my fix okay because it's hard to well, actually it's easier to see it on camera, but the loops kind of go cross forward. They cross forward in each stitch, and that's because the string goes behind, or the leader yarn goes under the end loop. Which is a bit like if you are doing a braided edge or a plaited edge. Then it would also have the loops going forward like that. Ta-da! It almost looks like there's a big gap where you just put it through, but that gap tends to disappear as soon as you do the next stitch. But yeah, next month, new stitch. Considering we're having stash busting, I think we'll go with something a little bit more familiar. I haven't quite decided yet, but anyway, there's a lot of stretch to this. It still does. Like I said, these little ridges on here on the right side kind of remind me of scrunchy leg warmers or something from the 80s. I think these would make great wrist warmers or leg warmers, though. And if I have my gauge right, then this line won't be so wavy. But you can see I've struggled a little bit with it. But this is the first time I've ever tried this stitch, so it was kind of fun to do. So it was a bit of a challenge for me too. But I really thought it was perfect for Halloween, for October anyway. That it was very different than what we normally do, but still not all that difficult actually. It's quite simple. It's just getting your mind around it first. So there is that. Then I will, let's see, check out the chat here. Let's see. Reading the glory hole things. I begged to differ. His mic, yeah, he did it again. I knew it. At least he took it off before he went to the toilet, so that was good. Katie Erickson says, yeah, I finally get to watch you two live. Welcome. And then here I am hiding a little bit, upside down. Cold sore in my head. I look like I got beat up, but like I said, you should see the other guy. Ooh, amazing display of the yarn on the wall. I have to start refilling that again, actually. It's got quite a few gaps in it. I can show that off, actually. Let's see. Zoom upwards. There's the ocarinas. Ta-da! So I started to shove some more yarn on there, but I need to take out more. So right about in the upper part of my screen there, not the big green skein, but the right in the middle, with the string hanging loose, that is the Balder yarn. So I think I will donate that to my stash busting project next. That starts up in about a week, because it looks like I only have 2 of those left, and they make really quickly. They make up hats really quickly. Another one I think I could add, that's what I used last year. That was the Sulka yarn, because I had bought so much of it. But I do have to do Spider-Man hats. I'm going to have to do some red yarn and some black yarn, make some eyes and stuff, but that will be a crochet project. But we can mix. There's nothing that says you have to needle bind it. It just says you have to use it. So yeah, if you don't know what the stash busting was, we can bring that one up one more time. It's you pick out a certain amount from your stash. You're deciding, because this is a bet you're making with yourself. So if I just take those 2 blue ones in the middle, they're up to the top there. If I just took those 2 Balder skeins and said, okay, by the end of the year, I will use everything of those 2 skeins. Actually, there's a little one underneath the red, the pink skein there as well, the reddish pink skein. There's also a little bit of it left. Oh, and that purple one right there. So I have a little bit more Balder than I think. But you're making a bet of yourself, so you can say, okay, I'm willing to bet those 200 grams that I will finish those by the end of the year. But I have to be a little bit more braver than that. And then you see if you can make it work. Okay, 14%. Carl, sit your ass down. Because the battery flies like fast when we're going on live. Okay. So just enough time for, oh yeah, this little, let's see. There's the little one, and we can see what that crossbow says. Color infusion. Can you show Carl's army? Oh God.
No, not yet.
It's not existent. It's only primed, if anything. But we can try to get that ready for next week. Okay. This itty bitty teeny tiny little crossbow, a crossbow of Balestrino type, Italian, 17th century. So this so-called assassin's crossbow is one of about 18 known. Their size allowed them to be carried in a concealed manner of all steel construction. The hollow handle contains the screw jack mechanism by which the string is spanned. In Venice in 1561, the punishment for carrying one whilst masked was to have both hands cut off and a 6-year prison sentence. In 1594, an assassination plot on Queen Elizabeth I was discovered, which was to use a little crossbow of steel, end quote. And I think I had a better picture of that. Nope, we're into the guns. There it is. You can see it there. Any thoughts on that before we go straight into the...
I would love to know how powerful this thing is, because it's super tiny.
It is. It's really cool, though. And it's all of steel. Okay, so battery's blowing fast here, Carl.
At any time in history, there seems to be one weapon that
bow.
people just kind of have a visceral negative reaction to.
Mm.
Today you have the 3D printed guns, you have the ghost guns, and you have the IR-15 type guns.
Cat.
That kind of has... they have a reputation for being a lot worse than they actually are. But the thing with this one is that it is so clearly designed for assassination. It's a little thing you hide in your hand or up your sleeve when you're going to
I'm quiet.
going to a ball.
Oh, it's up. Yeah.
And then you assassinate somebody.
Too bad it wasn't called the Vlad stitch instead of the Vod stitch. What are the ocarinas? Where are the ocarinas? Kieran accidentally castrated the wall instead of Carla. No, they're on the back. I made Carl move them to the corner because I was laughing so much last time. Robert says, I need to make myself a new Nalbinding needle. I need to stop giving mine away. Oh, yeah. That is actually, I've heard that story before with quite a few needle makers. Okay, so Carl, let's see. What is this now that we're looking at? It's a Gatling gun, I believe. Look at all the barrels on that thing.
It looks like the original hand-cranked Gatling gun.
Mm. I could unplug the microphone and plug in the phone to charge a little extra, but I don't think it would switch over to the phone microphone, so it'd be gone. But yeah, anything you want to say quickly about this one? There's a couple more. It's basically the display. But these are ranged weapons, obviously.
Yeah, no, these are from the 1870s.
Yeah.
Around there.
And you can see there's a gear at the base of there too. Would you put the bullets in there and then you just wind the crank and it starts shooting them out through all those little barrels?
Yeah. When they get up on top.
It looks like a gearbox, but it's not it's the holder.
Magazine.
The magazine, yeah.
When the barrel gets up on top, a cartridge falls into the top barrel. Mm-hmm. Then you turn it to the next position where it's cocked, and in the third position it's fired. And the faster you can crank the handle, the faster the gun shoots. So even when hand operated, these are very fast. Mm. And apparently, sometime in the late 1800s, they tried putting an electric engine on it, and they got it up to a speed of about...
It's trying not to talk, and it makes it worse.
About 2,000 rounds per minute.
Yeah.
Which is faster than most modern machine guns.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper system on American ships is based on the same principle, but bigger guns that shoot faster.
These overlap with guns, so we can bring this up a little bit. The next one. Here's another one. This was on the left side.
Overlaps with guns. It's the most gunniest
I
gun that
know.
ever gunned.
I know, but I couldn't put guns with it. I couldn't put the guns with the arrows because there was too many. Okay, here's another one. This one looks a little bit newer. I like my hand that just got in there. That's cute. But yeah, anything you want to say about this one real quick? It obviously operates somewhat similarly because you've got a wider magazine up top, but it only has like a half circle. The barrels make like a half circle instead of a full circle, or
No, it's a full
oh no,
circle.
they are. I
You
see
just
them
can't
underneath.
see it because of the supporting rod.
Yeah.
And this is practically the same thing.
This is where things in the army start going military green.
No, it shouldn't be, not yet.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get on to the next one here because we are burning battery fast. I did that one, okay, no, let's go to this one first. That thing. This is obviously much, much more modern. It's coming up. There. No, there it is. This one. This one is, it would be attached to something, I'm assuming, like the top of a tank.
More likely a ship.
Get off my lawn, rat-a-tat-tat-tat, says Torben.
Considering the size of it. But this one, I don't honestly know.
Yeah, that was it wasn't a part of the same display, but...
I'm tempted to say anti-aircraft, and I'm tempted to say ship-based, but without the plaque, I can't really see anything sensible about it.
Military green only happened because of my Boer ancestors who invented guerrilla warfare, says Peruta. Okay.
True.
Probably. Let's see. Then we did this one, that one. These are the two that were in the middle. It's coming up. It's the picture I accidentally showed a second of. I keep getting there. One more there. Okay. Those two there. One looks like a telescope. Looks like a model of a ship's gun, says Torben. I kind of agree there. Actually, the Zulus invented guerrilla warfare, says Nikki. I did not know that.
Well, the word guerrilla, meaning little war, is from Spanish, and it refers to basically right before the Second World War. But the concept, you could say that what Boudicca did to the Romans was guerrilla warfare until it stopped working. It's attacking the tail instead of the head of the snake. It's probably been done since longer than recorded history.
Yeah. We have to speed it up a little bit because we're at 7%. But these ones look a little bit more mobile. Obviously, they're not mounted on wheels. Like the other one of them has like a tripod and looks like you could aim it up or down quite easily.
This is the same principle, I think, but I don't see a magazine. So this might just be like a pepper box, that you, instead of having a revolver, you have 6 barrels in the pistol.
Okay.
So you might have to reload this entire thing for every time you use it, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with the thing in itself.
Here's the last photo I have for today. It was the one that was right in front. It's actually in the right of that previous picture here. It should be changing on the screen real soon. There. It's kind of hard to see what this one is, but it's got like hoses coming out of it and a really big, long magazine. You can see there's like a belt of bullets.
No, this is a minigun. This is the modernized version. Now you have an electric engine. You fire at a fairly steady rate of 6,000 rounds per minute, which is like... A typical machine gun is maybe at 750 rounds per minute.
Yeah.
This is 6,000. It is... even though The Predator is a very cool movie, they are very rarely handheld.
Yeah.
But you can say, for instance, put them in the door of a helicopter.
This one maybe I didn't do. Oh, no, Carla. Okay, so this one I thought I did, but I didn't. It's on the far left of this huge display of Gatling guns. That one. I'm a little zoomed in too much for Carl. But that one just has, like, it's like a singular pole.
No, I see the drum magazine on the side of this thing. It looks large caliber. It's hard to say without anything to judge, without anything to compare it to. But I'm tempted to say that this is over normal handgun calibers, so more than half an inch
aimed right at you.
inside of the barrel here.
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's not super old, but it's not modern either. So maybe First World War, maybe older.
Need a cord soon.
I don't know.
Okay, Carla is now snuggling the camera, and we are at 5% battery, so I'm going to go before this thing crashes. Oh, the minigun, side mounted on a helicopter or a tractor, says Torben. I can imagine him running around one of these mounted on his tractor. Get off my lawn, as he said.
Yep. No, you can mount it on practically anything that is mobile.
Could you make it fire apples? You know, the ones that fall on the ground? He has an apple orchard.
No, you could not.
I'm sorry, Torben.
But the great advantage of this comically high rate of fire is that if you're firing from the door of a helicopter and the helicopter is moving at 200 plus kilometers per hour,
Pull it up a little bit there.
it's very hard to hit anything because the bullets will hit so far apart just because of the motion of the helicopter. Not at all an issue with this thing. And you don't even have to aim. It's like using a fire hose. As long as you use tracer ammunition, you can see where you're hitting, and then you just kind of lead the fire to the thing you want to destroy.
He's done it on Facebook, says PJ. If you have PJ on Facebook, you can see the painting. The hose on the side is what Torben was asking about. The 4-barrel thing looks oil-cooled, though, and then there's that whole hose on the side. Do you see there what he's talking about? If I zoom in, I can show it to you. There's like, it almost looks like a water hose.
It might be water-cooled. That was typical for World War I and II machine guns. Water is much more readily available than oil.
He's talking about that piece right there.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But that might also be for water cooling.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Need to go now, says Robert. Now we need to get going too. He says.
But I shouldn't think it would, unless it has a comically high rate of speed, rate of fire. I wouldn't expect it to get that hot because you have 4 barrels to distribute the heat amongst.
Robert volunteered to do a 12-hour shift and realized earlier that it's actually going to be a 13-hour because the clock's going back. Good point. Next week, well, actually tonight, at 3 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, so tonight, the clocks will shift back in Norway 1 hour. I don't know how that affects everyone else. If your clock's already changed or not, then Nikki, I think, is looking forward to this clock change.
I think it takes us back to normal GMT +1.
Yeah, I think so. Because I know Nikki in New Zealand, her clocks changed much earlier. So, but anyway, that's something to be aware of, and we'll try to be better at being at 6:30. But today I was behind schedule trying to reformat pictures. So it is 2%. We're gonna go because I'm going to. Yes, the clock's changed. I have to plug in the computer. Okay, but we will see you next week, Saturday 6:30 Norway time. If you're not sure what time that is, just Google after tomorrow. What time is it in Norway now? And that'll help you out a little bit. Okay, I will see you. Normal time, says Torben.
It's also the same as Rome and Berlin.
Yep. Gotta go with 2%. Bye.